What's up, you guys? My name is CyberSnowWolf, and welcome back to LEGO Arts. In the last episode, Joey Drew attempted to take over the channel, and he did the DIY of Bendy. But don't worry, Connor took care of him. So now in this episode, I decided to go back to one of my old projects that I did during like my earlier days in the customizations. And since the movie is coming out next month, I decided to go back to How to Train Your Dragon again. This was like one of the first sets I built towards customization. So as you can see, we have Hiccup, and of course, Toothless. I made this thing like, I can't exactly remember when, but it was like some point towards like the end of middle school to the beginning of high school is when I built this thing. And recently, I decided to go back to this minifigure because I wanted to re-customize it. Make it more accurate to the movie that's coming out next month. So, it's not entirely accurate, but I got it to as close as I can get to it. So, as you guys know the whole drill, I'm going to take these things one at a time, do a review on them, explain my process, why I went with this route, and then go from here. So, let's begin on the minifigure, and then we'll move on to the dragon. Alright, so of course to begin this video off is Hiccup in his new outfit in the hidden world. It's not exactly like the one in the movie, and it's mainly because I couldn't find a fully accurate photo of the armor. So, this is sort of like an attempted version of like what I think Hiccup's armor looks like. So, I guess we could call this like version 1 if I can find like an even better photo to give like a more accurate description as to what his outfit looks like, then I'll go back to this and then refix it and everything. But anyways, with this minifigure, it's completely in jet black, and of course, like on his right arm, of course, you got a little dragon symbol that I tried to paint on there. On the other side, there's not really anything on there because I couldn't find an accurate photo. And on the back, it's complete guess about what I think it might look like. It's probably not what it actually looks like. If you're wondering though, what's with the whole dots? It's based off of it's off of the character himself. So it turns out like Hiccup's armor is actually made of like dragon scales, specifically like Toothless's scales. And I think like it was one of those cases where he shed them off, and Hiccup had like one of his crazy ideas, decided like, ooh, what if I build an armor, a dragon-like armor that's like fireproof, it's fast, and it'll protect me and everything. So that's the basic idea. Like all these dots are supposed to represent the dragon scales. I simply went with this path because I'm not super good at detailing still to this day, and based off of the pattern with the scales themselves, it's like, that's gonna be a little bit easier said than done. And plus, I didn't want to leave this thing, like, completely blank. Like, I always put some kind of detailing into the minifigures I make. I had to double check to make sure, like, the left side of his body wasn't, like, red, like, sort of like a brick red. I double checked it, and it turned out it was just, like, a lighting thing, so it was like, okay, the whole thing's black. The brown here is I think it's supposed to be like a belt, based off of the photos I saw. There's some detailing on the chest. I decided to go ahead with putting molding clay on, like, the front, the back, and a little bit on the arms to sort of represent that slight bulkiness of the armor. I had the idea of, like, trying to do his How to Train Your Dragon 2 outfits, but that was actually the first version of this, and it wasn't even fully accurate. So, I wanted a fresh start, a clean new get up and everything. The leg, some of you are probably looking at this leg and saying, what is the leg? The leg, it's not accurate, it is not accurate. I know it's not accurate, let me explain. Back when first doing this one, I went with a regular leg for two reasons. One, I didn't have a peg leg at the time. I am very short on those parts. And two, I wanted the full figure to fit on Toothless. So the only way to do that was to have the full leg intact. And plus, when looking at the photos of based off of Hiccup's body, when looking at the leg, I don't know how I would be able to like put the peg leg on and still have like some of the detailing for the legs. So that's one of the reasons why I like his foot is silver, or to sort of like keep that in mind. And I do believe there's actually like a slight curve at the end of the peg leg. So it's slightly accurate, but not entirely. So again, the reason why I did this was that I wanted the figure to fit onto the body, and of course I don't have any peg legs. So the headpiece was actually from my old Luke Skywalker minifigure, like one of the earlier versions of this. versions of this. I took the headpiece and then the hair, this was originally a hairpiece that I originally gave to Sora, or for Kingdom Hearts, but I'm gonna make his hairpiece more accurate to like in the video games. I originally had ideas of changing the hairpiece to like Lloyd's from Ninjago, like from the Lego Ninjago movie, but I wanted to get this minifigure done earlier, and I didn't really want to like go out to the store, try to find like a specific set with that specific hairpiece, and finally I was just like, okay, we'll just do this. We'll just do this now for time's sake. So pretty much in general, that's pretty much the basics of Hiccup. Like I said, this is an attempted version. If I can find a more accurate photo as to what Hiccup's new armor looks like, I'll go back and try to make it as accurate as I can get to it. So let's go on to Toothless. So of course, breaking up here is Toothless, and when building this thing, it was another case for where it's just like I sat in my room thinking about like what to do, and I decided to attempt to build a toothless dragon again. So, basically with the dragon, with the dragon's body itself, we'll start off with like the head. If some of you think it looks familiar, it's because the head is based off of like some of the original Ninjago dragons. Specifically the Earth Dragon. And I chose to go ahead with this head because I felt it was closer to Toothless's head. This is his head. It's not exactly like it, I know, but again, back then when building this, it was about as close as I could get. I added in a couple of, like, blade pieces to attempt to make Toothless more accurate. He originally had like, I don't know, that mini beard that the dragon's molds had, but I cut that off and then, like, sanded it out to, like, make it a little even. His teeth, I just kept intact to give it, like, that, fierce kind of look Toothless can have. Of course, like, he's got his eyes. These eyes are definitely an improvement. When I first painted the eyes, it was literally, like, a big green spot and then a black stripe down the middle. I completely got rid of those eyes and then I repainted them to a more accurate color and also to a more accurate design. So the ball that he has in his mouth is supposed to be like the Plasma Blast. This thing was originally painted like indigo. I went back and painted it more like purple to match more of the coloration of the Plasma Blast. His feet. I'll just show one of the feet because it's basically the same. Some of these pieces are the same. For the Earth Dragon when building this. I pretty much just kept all four legs intact. That's with slight modifications to them. And as you can see, all completely painted black. This is actually a mixture of the two dragons. So my two dragons that I had the Ice Dragon and the Earth Dragon. And what I did was, I destroyed both dragons, and then I merged them together. So, of course, it's got like the Earth Dragon's body, or at least half of it, and then the other half is the Ice Dragon's body. So as you can see with like the wings, you can clearly see like some of the whites. These wings are supposed to be, they belong to the Ice Dragon. That's, I changed a little bit. Like the end pieces are supposed to have claws, but I modified those to where the wings can end and it still be accurate to what Toothless is supposed to look like. Okay, let's move on now a little bit to the body. Of course, as you know from big builds like this, I gotta move the camera. So as you can see here is like the saddle where Hiccup would sit. So as you can see here, he's got like, of course, his dragon blade or like his fire sword. Over here is the shield. Now, I don't know if he still has this shield in the movie. But back when building this, I wanted to add it on as sort of like an Easter egg from one of the earlier dragons. And I actually went back and painted on the logo. This was originally just blank, but I decided to attempt to paint on the dragon. It actually wasn't hard to find a photo, like a good photo of the symbol. And of course, in the middle of it is his helmet. Actually, let's get Hiccup back. Okay, set the camera down a little bit, and let's actually get to the helmet. So this helmet, I actually built a little holder in the saddle, to where like Hiccup could place like his helmet and his hairpiece. Okay, bringing Hiccup back. If we remove the hairpiece, and then place on the helmet. Okay, can we refocus? Okay, Harold, refocus, Harold. Thank you, Harold. Here, Harold. So when looking at this helmet, I definitely went back and changed it. So if you can't tell, like, based off of design, it's again like Ninjago, specifically like the XE, like the ZX outfits. Nick's old outfits. I had like a ton of spares of them. So I took one of their helmets. I took one of their masks, and then I originally just painted it black and then added red stripes. Yesterday, I went back and I did that, but this time I like sand out a little bit of like some of the cloth to like sort of smooth it out as best as I could. Same thing with the back, and then I added in clay as best as I could of like some of the design printing Hiccup has on his helmet. And then as you can see, there's kind of a little like line in between of his eyes. Those are to represent of sort of like the eye holes more accurately. I was almost tempted to just leave the mask as it was, as like with the eyepiece, but I still wanted to make it as accurate as I could. It wasn't easy, and the hard part was doing this while making sure that nothing falls off. Luckily though, everything is okay, nothing is stuck, and everything is alright. Now, back to the dragon. And on the back over here, okay, refocus, thank you. Back over here is supposed to be like the old wing pack. Back, looking at this now, this kind of looks like his Mark 1 more than it really did of his final version of it, and I know that there's now an updated version, but because of the clay that I put on Hiccup's back, I can't really make a back like that would have like the wing design in design. I might try it, but for now, there's nothing I know of that can build, that can have that sort of thing. Okay, so last piece of the dragon is of course the tail. The tail originally did not start out like this. Like, I don't remember how the Earth Dragon's tail was, but this is the Earth Dragon tail that I kept, because it was more buildable than the Ice Dragon's tail. And with this thing, I got it close enough to what Toothless looks like. So, of course, like, he's got one wing, and, like, one of the tail pieces is just intact, and then, of course, he's got his iconic red tail piece to represent that Toothless is damaged, and that he needs Hiccup to fly. This symbol, it's not exactly like the one in the movie, but it's much better than when this first started out. With my painting skills back then, it was literally like a white blob with two stripes and a messed up mouth. Now it's not pretty, but it's way more accurate to Toothless than it is now. So in general, that pretty much does it for Toothless. Again, it's not exactly like him on the movie, but I got it to as close as I could to call it for like, okay, yeah, this is Toothless. So how about we go ahead and wrap the video up? Well, that pretty much does it for this episode of LEGO Arts, and in case you guys are wondering, and you're like, do I plan to make more characters from How to Train Your Dragon? I honestly don't know. Oh no, like, I maybe will do Astrid and try to do Stormfly, but those two would most likely be maybes. Otherwise, for those, I honestly am not fully feeling of trying to do, like, more characters from this series. And one of the reasons is because, like to do the other Dragon Riders, I would feel like to do those, I would also want to, like, try to build their dragons. And right now, I don't have enough parts to build any more dragons. Like, I might have a few to build Stormfly, but the others, I would have to, like, go out and try to get, like, some more parts. And right now, I don't have enough. I don't have enough to build other dragons. And I'm already busy right now with other projects. And with the movie coming out next month, I honestly don't feel like I have enough energy to try to do more How to Train Your Dragon. I might do like Astrid and Stormfly again. I might do them in the future, but for now, Hiccup and Toothless are representing the whole Dragonverse. So, speaking of LEGO Arts, it turns out KH3 is gonna be a lot slower than I thought it would. Because as I said, like, I'm gonna be sculpting out with Sora's hairpiece. I accidentally damaged Riku's like head and hairpiece, so now I have to go get some new ones. And I'm working through ideas of how to do Kairi's hairpiece, and I'm thinking about redoing Hooded Roxas. So right now, KH3 is coming in slow, and as I mentioned before, most likely will not get done until after Kingdom Hearts 3, especially since it's next week, and I don't have and the only way I could do it is if I, like, sit in one place and immediately work fast. So, in general, again, that showcase will come in slow. I promise to get it done as soon as I can, but it most likely will not come until after Kingdom Hearts 3. And if you guys enjoyed the showcase, I really hope you do. And if you like it, that's cool. If you don't, that's okay. It's your opinion. And yeah, we're all an equal community here. So anyways, if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. It really, really helps us work on Let's Plays, LEGO projects, and we're mainly here to have some fun. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button, comment below what you think, share it to your friends, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch. And here's a hop for the road. Ow! Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. What do you guys, Moonrises?